Hey everybody, and welcome back. Today I want to take a look at the fight between Sean Brady and Christian Aguilera from last night's UFC Fight Night Smith versus Rakic card. We're going to break down some of the details that led up to the finish, and let's get started. So I want you guys to pay attention to how, as Christian Aguilera kind of starts walking Sean Brady down at the beginning of the second round here, pay attention to how his back right hip is pointed towards Brady. And also pay attention at the beginning here as he's backing him down to how light on his feet he is, right? Light on his feet, throwing feints, light on his feet, moving forward. Right there, though, guys. Look, right here. See, hips pointed towards him, steps into that space. And do you guys see how as he steps into that space, his right hip kind of opens up towards the back of the room a little bit? And remember we were saying he was light on his feet? Watch how as he steps forward, he's putting much more weight into his lead leg, right? Stepping much more deliberately. See that? See all the weight in his lead leg? That's an indicator to Sean Brady that this guy's about to kick me. And as Aguilera steps in and commits to this kick, Brady's going to read it immediately. Look how as soon as he starts throwing it, Brady's already changing his levels. He's going to catch the kick with his left hand, and then he's going to stick his head right into the chest of Christian Aguilera. And notice how he also runs his feet through this blast double. Runs his feet through it, right? Now, Christian Aguilera does a good job here of not letting Brady get around into too advantageous of a position like side control or something, right? But they end up in this sort of half guard position. And Christian Aguilera right now has his right arm over top of the neck of Sean Brady. What he really wants is to dig an underhook on that same side that he has half guard. So he wants to take his right arm, Christian Aguilera does, and start trying to swim it underneath the left arm of Sean Brady. Now Brady's going to do a good job of recognizing that, maintaining that underhook, and he's going to posture up onto his toes here and start applying pressure into the shoulders of Christian Aguilera to flatten him out. As he flattens him out, see how it allows him to swim his right arm underneath the head of Christian Aguilera? That's going to allow Brady to start applying shoulder pressure and turning the chin of Christian Aguilera towards the top of our screen, right? Because in order for Aguilera to escape, he wants to escape his hips towards the top of our screen, and in order to do so, he's going to have to be looking at us. His head is going to have to be facing us. So that's the kind of battle that they're getting into here. And also, the more shoulder pressure that Brady applies, the further he'll be able to drop his right hip down towards the mat and kind of get some torque and leverage, right? See right there, he's got a pretty good amount of it. But Aguilera actually does a pretty good job here of keeping his chin lined up and fighting for head position. He's losing the underhook battle on the right-hand side of our screen there repeatedly, but he does a good job. And right here, you see that Brady's able to get some serious torque in. Aguilera recognizes it immediately again, though, and starts fighting for that head position. See how he's turning his head back in? He wants his chin lined up with the center of his body. He's not going to be able to do anything if not. Now, it's going to switch off to an aerial view here. And do you see how Aguilera's left leg is kind of woven over top of his own right leg? And then his left foot is underneath the left shin of Sean Brady. This is called lockdown. And what lockdown lets you do is it kind of lets you manipulate the base of your opponent a little bit because you've got a leg isolated. So Aguilera can start to kind of bring his knees up towards his chest or maybe extend his legs out away from him. And like I said, it'll just kind of manipulate the base of Brady a little bit and hopefully create some space and give him an opportunity to work, right? Now, Brady does a good job of keeping pressure down here, but he's going to make a little bit of a mistake. And hold on 1 second here. We're going to see an example of Aguilera kind of using that lockdown and bringing his knees towards his chest to manipulate the base of Brady right here. See how he does that? Now, Brady does a good job of collapsing his hips down into that space, and he's also still got an underhook on the right-hand side of Christian Aguilera. So the escape's going to be hard for Aguilera to hit, but you can see an example of how lockdown lets you manipulate the hips of your opponent a little bit, right? Now, Brady's going to start looking for some offense to kind of get into they're battling for wrist control on that far side of our screen. But as soon as Brady starts looking for offense on the right-hand side, it's going to open up an opportunity for Aguilera. Look, hold on. Looks for offense, and as soon as he starts looking for offense, as soon as he starts digging those shots to the body, Aguilera takes his right arm and, just like we were talking about, swims for an underhook. And as soon as he establishes an underhook, he's going to use that lockdown to elevate the left leg of Sean Brady, which will in turn elevate his hips. And then as he does so, he's going to rotate his body. Aguilera wants to turn towards his left-hand side, come up on his left-hand side. So he gets here. And the thing that's causing him problems, guys, is he's keeping his feet locked together. What Aguilera really wants to do here is get his right foot down to the mat and he can start to look to get up onto his left hand and maybe stand up in base, look for a single leg, look for any kind of sweep or anything to get out of this position, right? Just create some space even. And he doesn't do that, and it kind of allows this opportunity for Brady to kind of swim his left foot down towards the mat, escape lockdown, hide it, right? And now Aguilera is still in a position where he could plant that right foot and he'll still be able to get a little bit of hip mobility. And Brady's going to recognize that and look, collects that leg. He's like, I'm not giving you that because that's like an opportunity for you to escape. So he collects everything. And now, do you guys see how Aguilera, because he was trying to escape, is kind of curled up in a ball? His head is underneath the upper body of Sean Brady. As Brady starts to apply pressure and starts to, apply pressure towards us, towards the bottom of our screen, what that's going to do, he's also looking for offense here. Do you see how he starts applying pressure? Aguilera right here, I think he's thinking maybe I can use that momentum of Brady kind of applying pressure forward and hit some sort of sweep or off balance him. But Brady's going to do a good job of widening his base out and just staying sound here, right? And now Christian Aguilera's head is in the armpit of Brady, which is bad news because Brady can start to look for that guillotine grip from here, which he's going to start to do. See it? Now, Aguilera does a good job of tucking his chin, bringing his knees again towards his chest, and kind of sinking his head down in to escape that grip. See? He doesn't allow Brady to establish it, but Brady's still in a good position here. He's on top of him. And right here, guys, it's tough because the only thing right now, this is much easier said than done. Like if I'm Aguilera though, and I'm not, and I'm Monday morning quarterbacking this, I'm very fucking aware. It's much more complicated when you're in this. But do you guys see how the only thing really providing base for Sean Brady on the left-hand side of our screen is his foot? His bottom right foot? This guy right here? If I'm Aguilera, I'm thinking that's all he has right now. I might want to stomp down on the left-hand side of Sean Brady's right foot with my own left leg, and then I might want to start getting my right hook, my right foot, and swimming it underneath Sean Brady's left leg and kind of getting it underneath his knee there and using that as a hook. And then I can elevate that leg with my hook and kind of rotate Sean Brady towards the left-hand side of our screen. Aguilera kind of keeps his feet glued together here, which is going to give Brady an opportunity to kind of work this position a little bit more. Now, guys, from here, I want you to notice that Brady is not going to be able to lock up the guillotine grip from here. The angle's not right. And do you guys see how Brady's applying a ton of torque right now because he's dropped his right hips to the mat, and he's also bringing his left shoulder back towards those hips. So he's got a tremendous amount of torque, and he's trying to slice his left leg through that guard of Aguilera right now, okay? And also pay attention to how there's a lot going on. Brady also has pressure into the chin of Aguilera with his right lat, okay? And that's going to kind of create a rubber band effect here in a second. And you'll see that, again, pay attention how you can draw like a vertical line through the shoulders of Sean Brady right now. In order for him to get this angle that he wants and to lock up the guillotine grip, he's going to have to see how he rotates. And now see how, guys, do you see how you can draw a horizontal line now through the shoulders of Sean Brady? That's going to allow him to cinch this grip up. And once he has the grip established, Aguilera's in a bad way. But notice one thing that is helping Aguilera out is he still has an underhook on the same side that he has half guard. So that's still going for him, right? And he still has that leg trapped. But Brady, now that he's threatening with the choke, is going to be able to start slicing that knee of his through, right? And he gets into mount. But again, the fact that Aguilera's right arm is free is going to cause some problems for Brady here. And Brady's going to go up over top of that arm when he tries to complete the guillotine. And that's going to allow Aguilera to swim that right arm through in between the legs of Sean Brady and then start rotating his right hip towards the left-hand side of our screen and coming up on top and looking for some sort of escape, right? Like, see how he's able to do that there? And he kind of traps the right leg of Sean Brady, and now he's going to grab it with both of those arms that he has free and pull that foot towards him. See how he pulls the foot towards him? Now Brady can't plant with that. And now Aguilera is, again, going to rotate that right hip of his down towards the mat and come up on top here. See how he does that? Now, Brady does such a good job of following it, though. And you can still finish a guillotine on the same side. So Aguilera is not out of danger here, okay? So Aguilera he's going to push off of his feet and try to roll over his left shoulder here. And when he gets to there, guys, like when he's trying to do this, he's trying to create some separation, and then he might be able to turn over to his stomach and come up on top, right? And maybe keep walking away from the hips of Brady and create some sort of escape. But Brady does such a good job of following him and getting his own stomach down first and then getting his hips out, right? You can tell that Brady's driving his hips down hard to the mat, and then he starts posturing up on his toes and walking around. And look, gets around the leg, slices into mount here with the guillotine grip still established, and watch what he does this time, guys. Takes that left arm and establishes an underhook while he's working the choke. Now that he's got this locked up and he's got that underhook secured, because last time, remember that right arm of Christian Aguilera caused problems, almost allowed him to escape, right? And Brady said, not this fucking time. Traps that arm, and then he's going to start applying a lot of pressure with his hips and getting a ton of torque. And look, runs his legs there, and he goes out. And an excellent finish from Sean Brady, an undefeated prospect from Philadelphia. Tough as fuck. I think the kid's got a bright future, and this was an outstanding finish and it was fun to watch him advance through these positions. And you saw some things from Aguilera that were defensively sound, but Brady was just able to counter them. And I like how also when Aguilera went for that first escape attempt, Brady was able to follow everything and stay calm and still secure it, still secure the finish. So a good fight for him. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you liked what you saw, please hit the subscribe button. Give it a thumbs up. Drop shit in the comments if I forgot anything, if I royally fucked something up, right? Let me know. And otherwise, have a great day, and thank you again for tuning in. Bye-bye.